Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Nikisha Lewis, and I'm excited to share insider knowledge from the underwriting desk that can help you, as realtors, better support your clients. Whether you're new or seasoned in real estate, these tips will help ensure smoother transactions and faster closings. Let's get started. Again, I am Nikisha Lewis. I am a seasoned professional with over 20 years of experience in the financial sector. As an expert residential mortgage underwriter, I have underwritten a wide range of loan products, including FHA, conventional, USDA, bond loans, and jumbo loans. In addition, I hold a degree in accounting, and I am both a certified IRS enrolled agent and acceptance agent. I have an active realtor's license that I've had for the past 12 years, and I am a certified notary signing agent. I have completed hundreds of loan closings throughout my career. I bring a unique blend of experience to the table. I've worked on both the lending and closing sides of a transaction. I've seen where deals fall apart and where they shine. That's why I love educating realtors because the more you know about underwriting, the better you can guide your buyers towards success. So let's get deeper into it. What is underwriting? Underwriting is the process of evaluating a borrower's financial information to assess their risk level. We focus on the three C's of underwriting: credit, capacity, and collateral. Just to give you guys a deeper understanding of each of those categories, we as the underwriter review the buyer's full credit report. We look at their score, payment history, and credit usage. We also evaluate and analyze any late payments, collections, and high revolving debt. These things may impact a buyer's approval. Capacity. We, as the lender loaning a buyer hundreds of thousands of dollars, must determine the buyer has the ability to repay the loan. We verify income, employment, and debt to calculate what is called the debt to income ratio, also known as DTI. Collateral, the property securing the loan. We assess the appraisal for value, condition, and conformity to loan guidelines. Each investor has their own individual guidelines as it relates to collateral. We, as the underwriter, also identify any potential red flags or inconsistencies. We communicate our findings to loan processors and originators, and we gather additional information if necessary. Now we're going to go behind the scenes of an underwriter and look at the process. So the buyer is now looking to obtain a loan approval in order to search for a home they are looking to purchase. The buyer will reach out to their loan originator or loan officer, submit an application, also known as the 1003. The loan officer would then collect supporting documentation from the buyer, such as their W 2s, income pay stubs, bank statements, and identification. The file is then passed on to the processor who sets the file up and prepare it for underwriting. This process entails the processor inputting all of the data gathered from the documentation that was submitted by the buyer, their income, their bank statements, their W 2s. That information is input into what is called a loan origination system. It could be through Desktop Underwriter, also known as DU, or Loan Prospector, also known as LP. DU is Fannie Mae, LP is Freddie Mac. Once this process is completed, the file is then transferred to the underwriter to complete the initial credit review. The underwriter validates all of the information received from the buyer, calculates the debt to income, and issue what is called a conditional approval. This conditional approval could request additional documentation based on the initial documents that were received. Once the conditional is approval is issued, it is then sent to the processor, who is the liaison between the buyer and the underwriter. The buyer receives the conditional approval, gathers the necessary documentations, resubmits them back to the processor, who submits them back to underwriting to complete a final review. If all documents are satisfied, all conditions have been met, a final approval is issued, and a clear to close has been given to the closing department. That file now transfers to closing, who gathers the closing documents and schedule the closing. Once the closing has happened, a funding disbursement is issued. Next, we're going to look at the different types of programs and basic eligibility. I say basic because upon review of the documentation that the buyer submits, there could be additional requirements met per investor guidelines. So looking at the four different type of loan products, we have conventional loans, FHA loans, VA loans, which are for veterans only, and USDA loans, which are loans that are for properties located in rural areas. Credit scores. Each program has its own unique minimum credit score requirement. DTI. Each program has its own unique DTI requirement. Again, for down payment, each program has its own required down payment requirement. FHA is a loan product that tends to be highly sought by first time home buyers. This loan program offers a little more leniency than the other programs, so it is a highly sought out loan product. Most buyers tend to go FHA because there's a lower credit score requirement, lower down payment, because some of the homes that they purchase may not be in the condition up to par as much as a buyer would like. So going towards a program like FHA requiring a lower down payment allows the buyer to utilize additional funds towards repairs. So for you as realtors, working with first time buyers or existing home buyers going through the underwriting process, these are some key factors that can assist these buyers in avoiding delays and denials as it relates to underwriting. So please, as a realtor, remind your buyers that in submitting incomplete applications, not submitting all of the documentation, or explaining um, ex- submitting letters of explanation that the underwriter has requested an explanation for, such as an unexplained large deposits. These things could delay the buyers being approved and could also result in a denial. So, how can you, as a realtor, ensure a smooth underwriting process with your clients? Please remind your clients to avoid major financial changes while their loan is in process. This includes not opening any new credit cards. Don't go out and buy a new car or purchase furniture on credit. Don't quit or switch jobs without checking with the lender first. Don't deposit large amounts of cash into their bank account that they cannot source. And things such as co signing for additional debt, The lender pulls a hard credit report at the initial review, but what some buyers don't know is right towards the end, before closing, they pull what is called a soft pull. And if they see that there's a new inquiry on that credit report that was not disclosed, that occurred right before closing, that is going to delay the closing. So please ensure that your buyers are not going out purchasing any new debt, because this could cause for their loan to possibly be delayed or even decline. You, as the realtor, play a vital part in the transactions. So encourage them to get pre approved, not just pre qualified. Ask the lenders, gain a relationship with the lenders, and ask them what documentation is still outstanding. Review the conditional approval that your buyer receives during the underwriting process. Advising your buyers to respond quickly to requests, managing expectations and quick turnaround timelines, working with the loan officers and the processors to gather all of the documentation needed to get that loan from start to finish. Being proactive, informed, informing the buyers of what needs to be done in order to get the approval will ensure that your buyers will have a smooth closing, and you as the realtor will get complete repeat business. Thank you for so much for joining me today. My goal is to help you close more deals with fewer delays. I'm here to support you, not just as an underwriter, but also as a certified loan signing agent. My contact information is here found on the screen. If you need help understanding guidelines or want a second opinion or want to collaborate, please feel free to reach out to me. That is my time. I thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful day.